respected elders, my brothers and my sisters, and to all those who are not yet believers. Um, I did not schedule this live, but wanted to give a live update. I've been traveling on these back roads for several hours today in my county, mashallah, and I got a chainsaw in the back here, and I've had to stop a couple of times to clear road from the side road, debris from the side roads. But for the most part, the main roads are fairly well free of debris, with the exception of the ones that the whole bridges are washed out. And there are several of those. Roadways are still completely covered with water, a lot of them. And the ones that aren't covered with water, you got bridges that have been completely washed away over here. And it's fairly bad. I went live even though won't be able to really respond to the comments as well, because I am driving in this flooded area. But I wanted to give an update. There's been several main bridges that have been completely washed away in my area. Nolichucky Bridge is one of them. Birds Bridge, it's called Birds Bridge, is another of them. And these are major bridges that connect major parts of the county, and they have been completely washed away. And I don't mean just covered with water, I mean completely washed away, broken off of their foundations, and are no longer in existence. So that's pretty scary. You got people that are trapped on one side or the other, and some people are trapped right in the middle of the washed out areas, the washed out bridges, because there's bridges on both sides of them. And the parts that aren't completely washed out, the bridges aren't washed out, well, in a lot of the places the roadways are completely covered. It's not just a matter of, oh, it's a little deep here and there. No, you should check it out on YouTube for Greene County, Tennessee flooding. It's pretty treacherous, man. It's treacherous. Got people who are missing, houses and mobile homes that are just wiped completely off of their foundations, swept down the river. And it's the worst flooding that I have seen in my entire life in my area. It's just not something that typically happens here, surprisingly enough, because we're surrounded by water on all sides. Really, I mean, rivers. You got the Nolichucky River, which is a fairly massive river, and then you got something called Lick Creek. And Lick Creek is not really a creek. It's a creek in certain areas, but a river in others. So these areas tend to rise. The water level does rise when we have heavy rains, but not to this extent. And we had a couple of dams that were fairly large dams too, holding back water. And apparently they had some structural failure last night around 11:30, and they predicted that the entire thing would go. Mashallah, the major dam that we have here didn't go, because loss of life and loss of property probably would have been ridiculous, like unbelievable. But it's bad. It's bad. My heart goes out to all the people that have lost loved ones already, and their property and their homes, man. And like I said, I got to be careful, make sure I'm paying attention to the roadway here. You can see right here, this used to be a field. This used to be a field, and this is a fairly low-lying area that this is actually down several feet. This was up over the road last night. And I'll show you the other side of the road. You can see over through there too. It's just a basic swampland right now. So both sides are pretty well covered, but last night it was up over the road, both sides. Mashallah, they shut it down. From what I understand, they shut it down in enough time that nobody was stranded in this particular area. But like I said, this is only one area of Greene County that's got hit. There are other areas that have not recovered, and they don't predict them to recover anytime soon because they're going to have to do some major engineering and building bridges back. I have been all over the county today, cutting up trees on the side roads and checking out to see where I could be of service to anybody that needed it, and have been met with several roadblocks by police officers and spoke to them to find out kind of what the area looked like, and the common consensus is it's bad. Oh look, here's some more. Here's some more, and this was up in these people's yards last night. I'm assuming probably I've never seen it that high up, and it's probably receded a lot. But anyway, common consensus is amongst the officers and emergency workers that I've talked to today has been it's bad. It's bad everywhere. I don't know if we have declared a state of emergency. From what I understand, this is all over our county and a couple of the surrounding counties as well. Washington County, Hamlin County, Sevier County, Unicoi County. These are all counties that surround my county, and subhanAllah that anybody survives this. So here you can see this. This is the roadway. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Inshallah you can. But I'm gonna swing a right down here if I can get through and see. Try to let this car go ahead of me. He's got four-wheel drive, so I'm gonna let him go ahead of me and see. Oh yeah, that's impassable. I'm not gonna try to drive through that because the road. Hang on one second. I'm gonna flip this around for y'all and see what we can see here. Brother, I don't think I would try to go through that, my man. You can see the yellow line, but the problem here is, even though you may be able to see the road, it doesn't mean you will not get swept away, because the swiftness of the water, and yeah, he made it through all right, but I'm not going to take a chance on that. I'm not going to take a chance on that, man. SubhanAllah, I'm going to back on out because I got this little 1995 car, and it's by no means a low rider, but at the same time, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it, mashallah. Thank you for letting me out, people. So yeah, pretty ugly. Allahu Akbar. Look at this. I'll show you here. Now I'll get back out here to the main road. I'll get back here to the main road real quick and show you. My phone is on 9%, so I'm going to show you some of this real quick before I get. I've been gone all day trying to help whoever I can for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, that's pretty ugly over in there. Hang on one second, and I'll get down here to the main road and kind of give you a preview from our main road, our 4-lane. So I'm gonna flip the camera around again. Let me roll this window up so maybe you could hear it. Inshallah. Let's see. I'm gonna flip this around. We'll get up through here, see what we're dealing with. Yeah, as you can see, that's low compared to what it was yesterday. From images they were showing, this road in certain areas was completely covered. That house right there, I have no idea how that house is still standing. Mashallah. So that right there is not too awful bad today, alhamdulillah. But yesterday, man, it was a scary situation. And this is the better part of the county. I'm gonna be honest, this is a better part of the county compared to some of the areas where the bridges were took out. And from what I understand too, the bridges on the interstate are gone. They're gone. So there's certain parts of the interstate coming into town and going out of town on the other side of the county that are gone too. And Allah knows best, but it's very, very treacherous, and people are still on edge because it's looking like, the weather's looking like it's going to give us some more. And I don't know if we could take any more, honestly. And I'm pretty sure that the dam structures that nearly failed or had slight failures last night, man, if they get any more, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, Allah knows best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect everybody who's going through this and help everybody to band together. Inshallah. Ameen. Yeah, now this area, I'm going to show you this real quick. This is part of the Lick Creek area. And Lick Creek is, like I said, it's a creek, but it swells to the size of a river. And it's kind of the area that what's flooded that field that I just showed you. And off in the distance over there, I don't know how well you can see this through my phone, but you can see those light poles, those power poles coming up out of the ground. All of that is surrounded by water at the base. And I'm about to go up this hill, and it's double bridge on both sides. Alhamdulillah that both sides of this have maintained theirs, because the rest of these bridges all over town have not been so fortunate. And this is really giving me a funny feeling just driving over it. You know, I watched several of them collapse last night, and I have friends, you know, who are recording these things as they're collapsing, and I'm just like, whew. You know, it makes me feel funny about it, just driving across them, mashallah. But I know that there are people out there who have it way worse. The people of Palestine and of Lebanon are going through it far, far worse than this. But that's not trying to minimize any particular situation over here, man. Everybody is going through it. I've also just learned news of a personal life tragedy in my life, and I will touch base on that later once I've had time to process it, inshallah. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base with everybody because I put that video out this morning about the flood. Let me check my battery here. Yeah, I'm on 6%, so I want to ensure that I've got enough battery to make it home, and I'm still probably about 25 minutes away from home. So yeah, I put that video out this morning talking about the flooding damage and what my day was going to consist of, mashallah. So I just wanted to touch base with everybody, man. And thank you guys for tuning in and checking out the update. I apologize that I didn't get to give a later date or later time, but I kind of wanted to give you this stuff live action, and I wish I would have thought of it earlier when my phone was fully charged and I was out in some of those other areas. And I'll post some pictures of the flooded out areas where the water's receded, inshallah. And I'm sorry that I can't read the comments right now. It's just that I'm driving, and I don't have my my reading glasses on underneath, so I can't see nothing. Alhamdulillah, I can see the road very well, but I can't read without them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, but thanks guys for tuning in and participating and checking out kind of what's going on. And please make dua for me and for all the people in this area, inshallah. May we all be of service to each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Until next time, remember that there is one God and only one God, and He alone is worthy of worship.